You know, honestly, I think that this one change could be the thing that actually gets me to my payout. Hey, if this is your first time seeing my face, let me introduce myself. My name is Shengab. I've been trading for about 4 years now, and I've been live trading futures for the last year. You see, on this channel, I show what most trading channels don't. The raw journey, the thoughts, and the lessons of a trader who is still in development. My goal is very simple: to build positive expected value in the markets and document everything that I'm doing along the way. So if you're a developer trader too, subscribe so you can learn from every step with me. Now that intro's out the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, if you didn't watch last week's video, I highly advise you watch it. It's a pretty good video. However, there was one iteration that I needed to make moving forward into the next week, and it's very simple. I needed to judge the quality of my opportunities and adjust the sizing accordingly. So that was my execution plan for this week, and let's take a look at how we performed. But before we continue with this video, if you have questions about the platform that I'm using, it's called Refinement. It's a trading journal that I built myself, and the reason why I built my own platform is because I wanted to be able to customize it with features that I would actually use and features that will actually help me build EV, or expected value. If you'd like to give it a try, I'm offering 1 month free for anybody who's willing to test it. You can just click the link below to sign up and create an account. You're gonna get transferred to a payment wall, which is fine. Just go to the payment wall and type in beta test 25 and you'll get the first month for free. However, if you are going to do this, I am going to require something for you. Please leave any feedback that you would like to see in this trading journal. You can do that simply in the system because we have a little feedback tab where you can leave feedback. Thanks for supporting the project, and now let's get back to the video. So as you can see, this week we ended the week negative $205 here, bringing us to a monthly total of negative $246 for the month. This is actually quite surprising given that I started the month out with a negative $600 week. The thing is, I've noticed that even though I have a lot of winning days, because you can see total trading days I had this month was 14 out of the 20, and out of the 14 to 20, 8 of them were profitable. So we had about a 60% day win percentage. However, the days that I lose more than I win. And this was pretty apparent because you can see for most of them, right? For example, this week, our 2 losing days were far bigger than our 2 winning days. And then also you could kind of see, well, they're kind of bigger than our winning days on average as well too, when I'm not risking a bunch on exposure. So I'm gonna be honest, this week, up until Thursday, I was having a pretty solid week trading. My performance was up to par, but there were a little bit of mistakes that I was making. But when Thursday came along, I completely just performed like shit, to be honest with you. Part of the reason why is some of these suboptimal actions that I've been doing. So first things first is I've been coming to the market unprepared. I've been coming to the market around 9:20, 9:15. When market open is around 9:30, and this doesn't give me enough time to prepare for the markets, to take into look into news events and potential market sentiment on a day, breaking headlines. It doesn't allow me to be prepared for the trading day. And I've done this not only on Tuesday, but I've done this on Thursday, and you can see the immediate result was a red day. It doesn't even like show a little bit of discrepancy where like I did this action and I had a green day. No. The 2 days that were red were the 2 days that I came to the markets late instead of coming to the markets at 9 a.m. and not following a pre-market routine. So that's the first action that I would consider very suboptimal. The second action that I note would be not focusing on my trading during my session. So I would notice that I would be scrolling on YouTube in the middle of my trading session, whether it's on my phone or on my computer, and just not really paying attention to the charts. And I would miss setups that are part of my plays and are really high probability. So I've noticed that these 2 actions that I've done this week were very suboptimal, and the feedback was almost instant. And these are the actions that have cost me pretty much a either break-even week or a good week as well, or ending the month good as well. Now, I'm not too focused on P&L, so it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, these are prop firm evaluations. They're $50. That's all that's really at risk. But I really am dissatisfied with my performance on these 2 days. So that was the result on the week. However, I didn't break my rule. I still did look for my plays, and I still did look to scale into the opportunities of my plays. So because I didn't break that specific rule, no 2 miles for me today. Thank God. But we do need to talk about a mindset shift here. So for the longest time, I have been working to get my first ever payout. and it's been pretty obvious what my goal is. It's to solve every problem so that I can eventually one day get my first payout and finally say I can make some type of money from this market. The big reason why I want to get my first payout isn't because of the money. It's more to prove to myself that I can do this. It's more to prove to myself that this is something that I can achieve, I can be good at. And placing that much emphasis on one singular metric that is not only not in my control at all, but it's also an external metric / lagging indicator is a very, very horrible decision. And instead I realized that I do need to do a little bit of a mindset shift here. I need to optimize my actions to maximize and improve for my expected value as a trader. But let's first look at the difference in both sides of thinking here. So with the first one, it is of course direct and outcome focused. So it's a very easy metric to track. It's a yes or no question. Did I get a payout? Yes or no? The problem is that there's too many variables that goes into an outcome like this. You don't know exactly what's helping you get this payout and what isn't. For example, you don't know if showing up to the markets at 9 a.m. every morning is an action that is actually helping you to gain more consistent payouts rather than showing up when you feel like you're ready to trade. You don't really know how each action is helped because you're tying it back to, at the end of the day, is this helping me get payouts? And there's so much things that go into it. The next thing is, like, every problem that you face is a huge obstacle. And for me, it's quite demoralizing because my perspective on problems when they arise is that this is something that is stopping me to get my goal of making some sort of income from trading. And yes, of course, every problem that presents itself gives you the ability to create a solution that then helps you become a better trader. But when you're focused on getting a payout so heavily, you don't give a damn about none of this, right? You just want to get some money. Like I said previously, right? The success metric, did I get a payout, is a lagging indicator. You're not able to know for certainty how each action has helped you or harmed you towards the goal of getting your first payout. And overall, like, the risk of this thinking is that you can solve problems tactically without actually fixing the real structural leak in your expectancy. AKA, you can just slap a band-aid on some of your problems. Trade setup's not doing good enough. You don't know if you're actually trading plays with high probability. Don't worry about it. Just lever up more on your trades. You'll get lucky. You'll pass an eval. And eventually, after a lot of blown challenges, you'll get your first payout. You just gotta lever up on those challenges and be aggressive. But this isn't how you build expectancy as a value. If anything, this is how you increase your risk of ruin and shorter your lifespan as a trader. So this is why I'm changing how I'm focusing on things. To be honest, I don't really care about getting a payout no more. I don't really care about making money from the markets anymore. At this point, for me, it's something a little bit more deeper. Whether it's driven by ego or pride, I just want to be good at this. I don't care to be one of the greats or any of that, but I just want to be good at it. And I want to have positive expected value in the markets. So I'm optimizing to focus on my process and to focus on optimal actions. Each action is evaluated by how it changes my expectancy equation. Now, if you don't know, if you never heard of the expectancy value, it's pretty much average win percent times how much you make on average when you do win, minus loss percentage times how much you lose on average on your trades. Now, each one of these levers or each one of these variables in this formula can be manipulated. One of the biggest reasons that I had to realize that I am around break even, which is actually a good thing because I'm not consistently losing money, was because my actions around cutting losses was an optimal action that, if anything, is helping keep my expectancy afloat. Instead of it being negative 400, it's maybe negative 4, which in my eyes is a win. So I realized if I can manipulate one variable of this formula and be at break even, I can probably manipulate the other 3, and who knows where it may take me. The thing is, I have to find the optimal actions for each one of these variables. Problem is, the only way you're going to find optimal actions and create an optimal policy for these actions is by experience. This is a whole nother topic I can talk about in a later video of why you can't be successful just by watching someone else trade, but that's a very, very contradicting belief compared to the norm. So I'm not going to go too much into this video. But if you would like to hear about that, feel free to drop a comment below. So like I said previously, payouts are lagging indicators of progress. They're basically like the final boss of checking your daily P&L, which is probably one of the most suboptimal actions, and you should probably stop doing it because psychologically it's not good for you. So the opposite and the optimal action of this suboptimal action would be, of course, optimizing your expected value. Instead of looking at your success metric as payout or no, it's how is this improving my expectancy? And then there you can look at actions and how they affect your expectancy in real time, because each action isn't tied to did it make money or not. Is it performing longwards or a growing equity curve over the long period? So let's get into iterations needed for next week. The first thing is I'm going to be arriving to my desk at 9 a.m. every single day, non-negotiable. The second thing on top of this, or I should add to this to say, is that I will be writing out my game plan of what I'm looking for. I'll be writing out the news that's planned to happen for the day. I'll be writing out any type of conditions or anything that I should be aware of and that should be on the forefront of my mind while I'm trading that day. The third thing that I should be looking to optimize, of course, is just removing all electronics from my desk. That includes phones, laptops, tablets, whatever it is. Anything that is not a chart should not be in front of my eyes, except for news. We'll have a little section for news, that's fine. And lastly, it's to identify all the suboptimal actions. Notice this week how I identified the 2 actions that cost me the most amount of money, and then I figured out a way to counteract these actions by just doing or creating a rule that helps me avoid doing these actions again. That's what I plan to do going into next week. My goal is to find suboptimal acts and curve them immediately, slap an optimal policy on it, which is basically a rule that helps me avoid from doing these actions again. Because my formula or my idea is that if I can avoid doing things that increase my risk of ruin and increase my chances of unprofitability, then maybe by chance I'll start to grow a little bit, and then I can find the accelerators or the enhancers of my expectancy. So you guys get to see if this change actually helps me or it kind of does nothing going into the next few weeks. We'll get to see how my expectancy curve develops over this few periods and kind of get a better understanding of why in a game of uninformed information, the best thing that you can do is learn how to act optimally in the face of uncertainty. That being said, until next time, ladies and gents.